One Universal guest recently showed a lot more than his enthusiasm for the Universal theme parks at Universal Hollywood. Yes, video shows a man taking off his clothes during the Universal Studios Tram tour, and we're going to, for some reason, talk about that today on That Park Place. Can you guys tell that I don't curate these stories? Because I can't believe we're discussing this, but we are apparently discussing this. Some guy dropped trow in the middle of Universal, and now we're going to bring you all the action. Not all the action, guys. So video, this is from KTLA 5 in Los Angeles. Video shows a man appearing to undress at Universal Studios on Saturday, turning a tram tour traumatic for some visitors. KTLA viewer named Gabriel submitted multiple angles of the incident and said that the guest appeared to be under the influence, I hope so, and began to cause a disturbance, including exiting the vehicle and removing his shirt during the backlot tour of the theme park. Many of the guests aboard the tram were seen recording the bizarre incident for themselves. Quote, "He began to roll on the floor and taunt employees from the side of the track," Gabriel said. He then returned to the vehicle, and that's when he began to further disrobe in front of more than 150 guests, including women and children. According to Gabriel, it took park security 15 minutes to arrive and allow the remaining guests to be removed from the scene. So here we see some photos here. This is the guy apparently, looking like he's coming out of the shower with no shirt on. There he is. And he's just like, "Hello, world." And there he is, so getting random by security. But yeah. So they said, "We received apologies from the driver and the hosts of the experience, and I believe that although they did their best to handle the situation, procedures should definitely be reevaluated." He said it should not have been allowed to escalate to that level of intensity. Guests were also given express lane passes for their entire party, Gabriel said. "Oh boy, how did you get on the Harry Potter ride so fast, Jimmy?" "Well, a guy dropped trow in front of me." It's safe to say that this was not a tram-tastic day at Universal Studios, he concluded, referring to the tram tour's motto. And let's leave the puns to the professionals, because it seemed like a tram-tastic tram. The Universal Tram tour. Or maybe I should leave it to the professionals too. But it was not immediately clear whether the man would face criminal charges or be banned from the park. I would hope he's banned from the park at the very least. KTLA reached out to Universal Studios officials for comment on the matter, but did not immediately receive a response. Guys, what?
Is he mentally disturbed or ill? I'm wondering if this is a person with like a disorder and their caretaker or caregiver wasn't present. I mean, there's no other explanation for that. You got to be really sick. I don't know. That's just my take.
So I do have clean video. Doesn't show anything, which is very good.
Okay.
If you want to share that. Look, the studio tour, Universal Studio Tour, has had some issues in its most recent past. And it's really unfortunate too, because the studio tour at Universal really, I think it's what sets Universal Studios Hollywood really apart from like Universal Orlando, for example. Orlando is great for its rides, its attractions, its shows, really great stuff right there. And it's just certainly more to do. But Universal Studios Hollywood keeps you connected to the fact that this is an operating, film studio. And there are productions going on there all the time. Now, this area in which the studio tour is stopped right here, this is all private property, folks, on the back lot. So even if you disembark from the vehicle for any reason, you could be trespassed because, well, that is wholly separate from your theme park admission right there. So that's no good. But disrobing in front of all these guests, especially, with 150 onlookers looking on with small children, no good. Not at all. And that's most unfortunate. This comes after a big accident that occurred actually on Universal Studios tour where, multiple people were injured, and they've actually adjusted the entire tram route because of that accident right there. That's no good. And a lot of people are wondering what the future of the studio tour is like, especially given these recent issues.
Yeah, this is ridiculous. Like, I can't. Look at the way he like sassily takes his shirt off. Like he's like, "Hey, world."
Yeah. Something went wrong.
Yeah.
He got some bad news on the tram. Maybe his girlfriend left him or something. And he's like, "You know what? To heck with everyone today.
I'm going to show you all what she..."
His girlfriend? Okay.
Or who?
She was
Somebody
missing, but
disrespecting him.
I knew it. I knew it. I knew it was Jay. He's been Winnie the Pooh in one park, and then he's streaking in front of the trams in the other park. I knew it.
Dang it. Dang it, drunk 3PO, man.
Yes, folks, we only have high-class stuff on this show.
Oh my gosh.
He says, I was hot. Not according to the reviews that I heard from the people that were on the tram, Jay.
Don't know.
Instead of off with his head, they were chanting on with his shirt.
Oh, that's no good.
I hope he gets the care and mental help he needs, if that's the case.
I don't know, man. So is that the priority pass they got to get on the rides?
Yes, yeah, that was a priority pass they got. I would think that this would have taken just a little bit more time. And remember, the studio tour itself is anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes in length. It's already a lengthy experience, and so to be backed up with this kind of behavior right there, no good for anybody involved. And here's the other thing too: there are other trams waiting to go through some of these areas, so they had to be either rerouted or maybe you have a backup there. So it's very disruptive to guest operations, or I should say, theme park operations and so forth. So it's just you just don't like to see this, and there have been a number of times. I think we covered a story on That Park Place very recently, actually, about two people. They jumped off and they went running into the woods, and then they were actually arrested because, like I was saying before, private property and all. It's no good. It's no good. This is a very unique experience. I want it to stay around for years to come, but given Universal's deep priority of the studio tour versus other experiences in Universal Studios Hollywood, not good.
Now, the studio tour, Vash, correct me if I'm wrong, but that was how it all started for Universal as far as attractions go, right?
Yeah, 1964 it starts out really as the studio tour. You know, there really is no theme park to speak of. It was really, hey, let's go ahead and invite guests to tour our sets and backlot and so forth. That really goes back to the 1920s, actually, where this was predating the talkies, when they used to have guests come into the backlot actually on foot, and they would actually see productions take place right in front of them. This is, before the sound era, so you can kind of do stuff like that. I think they used to get like a carton of eggs and everything. It's weird. But then that went away for a period of time after sound film was introduced and sound stages were built. But ever since the 1960s, they have had a studio tour experience that predates the theme park by a number of years. And Universal Studios Florida was kind of the first time that they really got into like ride vehicles and ride vehicle driven experiences, because previously the studio tour would just take you through like a King Kong experience, and that was your ride vehicle, and they would call them pull throughs. And so when you enter into the ride vehicle era of Universal, they actually got to some hot water initially because they had never done something like that before, especially at scale. And Universal Studios Florida had a number of problems in its early years. Fortunately, Universal has figured that out, but studio tour is kind of a product of a bygone era, sadly.
Now, Vash, question for you: is this like just a regular attraction that is included in your pass at Universal Hollywood?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so it's not separately ticketed.
It is not, but there have been discussions as to whether or not this might be separated out, because we have seen a series of surveys that have actually asked the question to guests. Okay, would you pay extra for a studio tour separate from theme park admission? Universal hasn't actually undertaken that effort to separate this out, but a lot of people are concerned that maybe the studio tour might not be included with your park admission at some point. We also know too that Universal is wanting to expand the theme park operation, and that's going to bleed into more areas of the back lot. So as that happens, does the studio tour remain relevant, remain as long as an experience as it is? Do they keep investing in it on a regular basis? All these things are up in the air right now, and it has a lot of people, especially in the Universal side of things, talking about this because it's so beloved.
Yeah. I don't know, like, what I mean. So I have seen people do heinous things in the parks, mostly at Disney. But like, what do you do in a situation like this? Because he does basically have a captive audience here, Vash.
Mm-hmm.
Erica,
Yeah.
what do you think you would do, or like your husband would do, if you're on this thing and this guy starts doing this stuff?
I mean, as a guest, you just kind of like, okay, this is really happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have a kid, that's disturbing, because how do you distract your child from like the obvious chaos? How do you distract their
kids
eyes?
these days, they're not looking up from those dang iPads. Am I right?
Well, yeah. In that moment, you would hand your kid the phone, I guess, and be like, "Oh, here, play a game. Go have fun."
Quick screen time.
I will say, if this happened at Disney, they would be revisiting their procedures and safety protocols, etc., and that manual would be completely rewritten from back to front, just based off one incident. That's all it takes, is one incident, and then those poor technical writers have to rehaul everything.
Anybody else want to weigh in on this situation?
Well, I mean, there's just it's unfortunate that people come in all over the world and want to have an experience on this type of attraction, and to see that kind of disturbance. But there are a lot of people going through so many things, and we just have to remember that not everybody knows how to follow the rules, and maybe this guy got some really bad news while he was on this attraction. Doesn't give him any right to get off and take off his clothes and be upset, like, whatever, or I don't know. I just think that in a world that we're living in today, we just have to be a little bit more sensitive to one another, if that makes any sense. I don't know if anyone's going to agree with me or not, but my heart goes out to him. I hope he gets the care he needs, and
of course,
things work out better for him.
I think there's really value in that. I hope he does get the help he needs. I would just say, just because it's a studio tour story, we have had the erosion. We've seen the erosion of studio-driven parks, right? Especially at Disney South Studios. It used to have a studio tour back in the day. No longer the case, obviously. And so I do hope Universal Studios maintains this heritage and maintains this connection as this connective tissue to the backlot and to film production, because these parks just are no longer around. And as we've moved to a ride the movies or immerse yourself in the worlds of these movies, we've kind of walked away from the production of films. And I just would hope that the studio tour finds some place to exist in the future for Universal Studios Hollywood Resort, possibly.
For sure. But guys, in the meantime, just know, if you're going on the Universal tour, no shoes, no shirt, no pants, no service.
Thanks for watching That Park Plays News. For more information, consider checking out www.thatparkplace.com. And don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and send this out on your favorite social media accounts.